Hello, everyone. What's up? It's Wednesday, and I just experienced some deja vu from my days of working in live television at Channel 12 when things are going to kind of crazy behind the scenes, and you only have a certain amount of time to get on, and bam, you go live. So, brought back some really fun memories of that adrenaline, flowing at that time. But I'm here. Welcome back to Cat's Novel Adventures. For those of you that have never visited Cat's Novel Adventures, welcome to my channel. I'm about adventure. It's mainly about bookish adventures, but I'm actually having a nature adventure, I guess we should say, which I will share with you a little bit. It is officially Garb August, and how many of you are participating in Garb August, this awesome readathon that was created by Ali of Criminali? I did not know about it last year and did not participate, but I did participate in the little mini one in February, and I love the concept. So this year I decided that I was going to participate, and I'm really excited about everything that I picked. And I am actually reading my book for this week because I'm doing themes. So let me see who's here before we jump into all of that, because I need some love today. I need some love today. I've had a lot going on and haven't really talked about it because it's just too much. But I just need some virtual hugs and lots of love. And now I have something popping up on my screen because apparently the electricity went out at my house when I was in Metairie helping my mom, taking her to a doctor's appointment. So when I got home, of course, my laptop wasn't working because it wasn't on. And it takes like forever to boot up. You got to love technology because it works when it wants to. That's all I can say. Okay. I really need to see who's here. I need some love today. We got Liz. Happy Wednesday, Liz. So happy you're here. Woohoo! Lauren, waiting all day for these sprints. I have a not so fun work task that I need moral support for. We're here. We're going to support each other. I'm just going to say right now, we're going to support each other. And I want to say thank you, everybody. I pushed this back later, 6:30 my time, because I had to bring my mom to a doctor's appointment at 3 p.m. and that's an hour away. Then you have the doctor's appointment, and then you got to drive home. So that's why I'm a little bit later tonight. So I appreciate everyone who, is going to hang out with me for a little while. So it means a lot to me. It really does mean a lot. I want to be consistent, guys. And it seems like Wednesdays I had nothing to do. That's why I picked the day. And now it seems like everything in the world is going to happen on a Wednesday. I don't know if it's a test of some kind. Woohoo, Faye. Hello, Faye. She's telling everyone hello. So happy you're here, Faye. Hello, Halko, my kindred spirit. I need some kindred spirit, love tonight. And my other kindred spirit, Jennifer. Woohoo, happy Wednesday. Glad y'all are here. I am glad everybody's here. I'm telling you, I need this. Howdy, gang from Swamp Gas. Woot, woot. How's it over there on the South Shore now? Because apparently the North Shore got lots of rain while I was on the South Shore. And when I was leaving the South Shore, it looked like they were going to get rain. So hopefully you not get bombarded. Hello, Amy. How are you doing today? What's going on with you? Sarah from Sarah Reads. Hey, I'm hoping to finish Mayfly on audio tonight. I'm at 71%. Excellent. Please, guys, put in the chat what y'all are reading or doing. I know Lauren has a difficult task she doesn't want to do. Sarah's trying to finish Mayfly. I am reading this crazy candlelight ecstasy romance called Love Beyond Reason by Rachel Ryan. It is craziness. Nuts. I mean, I can't wrap my mind around it. I'm vlogging. I am vlogging my weeks for sure. Thank you for the love, Liz. I need that love. Lauren sending me love and good vibes and lots of hugs. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I needed this tonight for sure. Having so much craziness. Yes, I need those virtual hugs, Amy. Thank you. I knew I could count on y'all. Groovy copacetic vibes in the ether mail. Wow. That is really heavy. Very heavy. Thank you. Happy Wednesday, Jocelyn. Thought I'd stream hop and give a like. Yes, thank you for giving a like. That means a lot to me. I hope you're doing well, Jocelyn. And, what are you working on? I know you're writing something, or maybe you're taking a break because you've been writing all day. Sending lots of love and hugs from my Jennifer. Thank you. Hey, Crystal. She's wishing everybody a hey, because it's Wednesday. What's up? Courtney. Hey, Courtney. How's it going for you? Are you feeling better? I know you were feeling under the weather, and I have seen some videos pop up. Haven't had a chance to watch yet, but will. Ecstasy romance, please explain. I am going to explain. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I am just going to say, well, I'll get to it, but I'm just going to say the first chapter of this book was a novel in itself. I was explaining it to my friend yesterday when I went to visit her, and she said, that sounded like the whole entire novel. And all I did was tell her about the first chapter. I almost felt like I was reading a soap opera, like Young and the Restless or As the World Turns or something. Jocelyn is free writing today. That's fun. I would think that would be a lot of fun. Does it help you brainstorm, give you ideas? Yes, I knew you meant the romance. Let's put it this way. This romance is not like the romance that I read by Emma Bennett. There's like descriptions and stuff in here that I'm just like, ooh, like I wanted so badly to read one of the passages, but I'm like, I don't know if I should say that because it's kind of too scandalous for me. Courtney says, I am eating crab, but reading a shifter romance earlier. Ooh, that sounds awesome. Can you tell us? Like, these are shapeshifters, right? What do they shift into? Curious. I want to know. I'm taking a break from writing my thesis and reading Interview with the Vampire. I'm having a vampire theme month. That sounds exciting. I read Interview with the Vampire many moons ago, when probably shortly after graduating from college, because I didn't know much about Anne Rice. My mom did. And I actually got to meet her at the University of New Orleans. I got a book signed from my mom. And then when I was in college, I ended up going to a writing conference that was in New Orleans, and she hosted a cocktail party. So I got to meet Anne Rice again, not only at the conference, but at the cocktail party at her house. And then I had her sign a couple of my books, but I didn't read Interview with a Vampire at that time. Sorry, my little Tootie needs to go out, and then he'll come back and push the door open. So I don't have a ghost in my house. I like this vampire themed month. Sounds exciting. Faye is reading When the Ground is Hard by Mala Nunn for the Coming of Age Square in Summer Book Bingo. Sounds good. I think I made a mistake when I was filming, because I did film my wrap-up video. I thought Three Strikes Summer seemed like a coming of age, and I might count it, but I think I'm going to have to count the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants instead. But how are you doing with that? I need to read 2 books, and I will have diagonals for my summer book bingo, which I'm not going to be able to finish the whole bingo board like I wanted, but it is what it is. Free writing is super helpful to work out what's wrong with what I'm currently writing. That is awesome. Yeah, I need to get back to writing. I just don't know how I'm going to do it. Right now, my blog, I have a blog, and mostly what I've been writing about on my blog has been about books, I have to say. I need to get back to writing what I normally write about, which is just basically about my life. I want to read Interview with the Vampire so badly after watching the movie for the first time in April. I will say, Lauren, and I don't know if Jennifer will agree with me on this, one thing that I've noticed about Anne Rice is that she is very descriptive. You have to have the energy, at least in my opinion. This is how I felt. You have to have the energy to read it, because it's not going to be like a fast read. It is very descriptive. it's literary, written, that type. You have to spend the time with it. And not sure if I think you would love it, but I don't know if that it's everybody's cup of tea. Some people might just think it's too slow, but it's good character development, in my opinion. That's so cool. I'm jealous. Yeah, she had a house, a beautiful house on St. Charles Avenue. And like I said, I got to go, and I think I've told this story before. Um, when you went to her, the bathroom, you had to cross into this room, and she had all these creepy dolls in there. And when I went, of course, I had like a line, and I happened to be the last person in the line. And I was getting really kind of nervous because dolls give me the creeps big time. I'm not a doll person. And these dolls literally look like they were little children that had been frozen or turned into a doll. They just look so realistic, and it was kind of freaking me out. So a couple of other ladies happened to come behind me. So I was like, thank you, because I just, my imagination was going wild, and I was afraid I wasn't going to make it into the bathroom, but it was really nice. And, yeah, it's a wonderful memory. I wish back then I would have had like a phone, to take pictures and do video, but we didn't have all that back in the day. That was like back in the day, the 90s. I've read Interview with a Vampire, The Vampire Lestat, and Queen of the Dam. Excellent, Jocelyn. What did you think? Do you agree with my opinion of it? Do you find that it's slow moving, that you have to be patient with it? Faye says, when the ground is hard is good so far. It's about a girl in a boarding school. And is it Swaziland? Swaziland? I don't want to butcher that. Sorry. It's been a while, but they're excellent novels. I agree. I think they are excellent. She just has a very distinctive writing style, and I think it's beautiful. Alicia, hello, Alicia. How are you? I've been thinking about you recently because about your little chickens. How are you little chickens doing? Because I'm having a little nature project of my own that I can't wait to share with everybody. Like Stephen King descriptive. Well, it's different. It's more like what I would consider more like Edgar Allan Poe descriptive, or more like just literary in the sense, not saying that Stephen King hasn't written anything literary. It's just the vocabulary. It's just very rich and descriptive. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it. I mean, I love Stephen King, and I don't mind that he takes a long time to get to whatever he has to do. But I don't know. They're not the same. They're not the same for sure. She, all I can say is just seems literary to me. When it, you have to take a long time with some classics. That's how it feels to me. I started listening to Small Spaces earlier while doing some cleaning. I love Small Spaces. Excellent, excellent. Now, I haven't read the whole entire series, but I will tell you, I've read the first two, and I love them both. The first one is so creepy, in my opinion. And I'm thinking I have to read the third one and the fourth one, because the fourth one has to do with carnivals. And if I'm going to participate in Kelsey's carnival readathon, that would be the perfect book to read for that. I love dolls as a little girl. Well, I think my thing with dolls, I don't mind a doll. Like, I had a Raggedy Ann doll, and I love that. And I don't mind baby dolls. I had a Cabbage Patch doll. I love that. These dolls were just like very antique-y looking, and it's something about their eyes. And I think my fear of dolls stemmed from my cousin. She is, she's still alive. She's older than I am. And she was about a teenager when I had to go visit her. So we might be like 8 years apart or something like that. Maybe 9, maybe 10. I don't know. But I had to spend the night at her house, and she had a doll, like a big walking looking doll that had those weird, creepy eyes. And my stipulations to sleep at her house, we didn't do it very often, was she had to put the doll away because I could not sleep with the doll anywhere near me. And secondly, she had picture, like a poster of Alice Cooper hanging from a rope with like blood and smeared eyeliner and stuff. And it just freaked me out. And she had that on a wall, and that had to be removed too. Now, the ironic part about it is, of course, I would not be scared of the walking doll. And I would hope not anyway. And I've actually seen Alice Cooper in concert, and he's not as scary since he's gotten older, I guess, is the best thing. I'm so jealous. That's so cool you got to be in her house. Yes, it is a fabulous, fabulous memory. One that I treasure. I have been fortunate enough to meet some of authors that I really love. Anne Rice was one of them. Clive Barker, I got to meet. He came to New Orleans to a little bookstore. I think it was the Maple Street bookstore. And I got to meet him, and he signed my Galilee book. And I got to see Stephen King. I didn't get to talk to Stephen King because I would have probably passed out. But he toured, and he came to New Orleans when he published his book, 11/22/63. I was one of the lucky ones that got a signed copy because he signed a bunch of them, and they were just stacked and kind of all mixed in or whatever. And I had bought the ticket to get in to see him was to buy the book. So I bought, my husband, and I bought one for me. And then we had a friend of mine and her son. And out of the 4, I got a signed copy. So I was so thrilled. But I couldn't even ask a question. He read from the book, he talked about things, and then you could go and ask questions. I couldn't. I was just I couldn't handle it. And I also got to meet Matthew Pearl. He writes a series of he's a contemporary writer, but he writes literary works that have to do with Charles Dickens and Edgar Allan Poe and some other poets. And there's always a mystery. And the first one he wrote had to do with Dante's Inferno. It is so brilliant, but it's like literary. It's so good. I loved him. So I was so excited to be able to meet him. I'm sad that I didn't get to meet Mary Higgins Clark. She was a mystery writer, but she passed away, and I never did get to meet her. And there are some other authors I would like to meet, but at least I got my top ones. I'm so excited. The books have very rich character development. Yes, Jocelyn is correct. Anne Rice does a very great job with character development. Interview is my favorite book of all time. It's awesome to hear. I need to reread it. I really do. I read so much Anne Rice back in the day, and yes, she can definitely get descriptive with her writing, very flowery at times, but I enjoy it. She had an amazing doll collection. She did. Yes, she did. Creepy dolls and lawn for bathroom. I know. Of course, you have to consider my age too. I mean, I was in my early 20s, but yeah, just creepy dolls. Like, I'm sure you've seen shows and stuff with creepy dolls. In fact, the book that I'm going to be reading for my Paperbacks from Hell has a creepy doll on it. Alicia said, my little chickens are doing great. I just bought them a watermelon today. I'm intrigued about this nature project you're working on. Well, it's not by choice. I'm going to tell you that much. And I'm just nervous about it. Hey, Linda, how are you? I miss you. I miss getting into your streams and stuff. I'm hoping that things will calm down and I can visit your channel soon. Hello. How are you? This is Dreaming Truth author Felicia. Hello. Glad you're here. The Carnival sequel is really awesome. So you've already read it because you finished the series. I know you loved Small Spaces, and it is a series. The Small Spaces is a series I would highly recommend to everyone. Well written, great character development, and just creepy. There's creepy moments in it, but not so much that like you would have a nightmare from it, but just enough creep for me. I think it makes for perfect. I wish they would have had that when I was like middle school because it would have been perfect. Halko says they're slow moving, but I like the way she writes. Her characters are really interesting. The enjoyment goes downhill after Tale of the Body Thief, though. Okay, well, that's good to know. I have not read that. I agree her books take me a while to read. Her writing isn't something I can speed through, but I love them so much. I agree, Amy. I just think you need to have the energy for it. Amy also says dolls freak her out too. Yes, they do. Depending on the doll. I love my Cabbage Patch doll. I still have my Cabbage Patch doll. Swamp Gas says, looking forward to starting 1,000 Year Vampire. Sounds good. And Jasmine's here. Hey, everyone. How are you? Now, before I start off and we set the timer, I know I'm talking a bunch today, but I need, it's like I have nervous energy right now. I have 2 baby bunnies that are so small. They have fur, but their eyes are not open yet. And they are in a burrow. Hurricane Ida destroyed a lot of my trees, and we had a lot of trees fall down in the backyard, and we got rid of most of the trees, but we have root balls still. Why my husband still has these root balls in there, I don't know, but he says he's taking care of them in his way. But a bunny mama decided, not on the root part, but on the opposite part, the mama made a little burrow and had her baby bunnies. So we knew that there was something there because Luna was sniffing around there. So we saw some, rustling or whatever underneath the like straw stuff. And I couldn't tell how many were in there. I was like, I think there are at least 2 in there, but I'm not 100% sure. So this was like Sunday. Monday, I get a phone call from my husband who's out in the yard, and he's like, you got to come out here immediately. So I'm out there. One of the bunnies literally, can't see, came out of the burrow and was out there. And I'm like, oh no, what am I supposed to do? So I called a wildlife rehabber who lives in my area. I don't know if anybody knows or remembers when I had the bunny that happened in April. I was on my way about to leave to go to Kelsey's house so we could have game day. And Luna had a bunny in her mouth, a baby bunny, and we couldn't see any wounds or anything, but baby bunnies, it's very stressful for them. And we think it either had internal injuries or it died of shock, but it didn't make it. But I, had help from this rehabber. Well, I called her immediately. She didn't answer. Of course, that's how it's going to work, because this was late. It was like dusk. It was getting dark. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. And she finally called me back, and she said, do you see the mom or whatever? I said, the mama's not around. I don't know anything about these babies. This is the first I'm actually physically seeing it. So she's like, take pictures, send them to me. I need to look at their bellies to see if mama's feeding them, all that. So she said, it looks like it's healthy to me. Go ahead and put it back in the burrow. So my husband picked up, and that little thing, he was squeaking and jumping around and everything. So he went and put it in, and that was the end of it. And we just thought, okay, well, there was just the one. We didn't see the 2. Well, the next day I had to go back out and look, and we put flour, all-purpose flour. She told me 2 things to do: put all-purpose flour in the entranceway, or put some kind of string or something so we could see if it got disturbed. Because if it got disturbed, then we know that mama came to feed. Because I didn't know this, but mama bunnies don't spend all their time with their babies. They come like in the morning early, and then they come later, maybe in the evening. So they're very vulnerable, in the spot. So anyway, I went out there. I didn't see anything in the flour, no little, prints, but they had some like little ants. I didn't know ants eat flour. Who knew that? I didn't. And so I texted, her name is Tisha, and I texted her and said, I don't see anything disturbed. I don't know. And she told me I had to go into the burrow and bring the baby out and check its belly. If the belly was round and full, mama's coming to visit. If it was sunken in, I was going to have to intervene and bring the baby to the rehabber. Well, I got my oldest son to video and take footage so that I could send it. The bellies were full. The bellies were round, and there were 2 of them. So they were like moving around and everything. They're so cute. Their eyes are not open yet, but one of them had a mite on it. And I was like, I had to pull the little mite off, but you could see on its little belly where its little umbilical cord was attached. So now I have to watch out for these bunnies. So can you imagine my distress when Andrew calls me, my son Andrew calls me and tells me it's storming here and I'm on the South Shore. So I'm like, Andrew, you got to go hurry and look and make sure that they're not drowning because otherwise he was going to have to take them out of the burrow and put them somewhere until I could get home. But luckily it all worked out. We have this little covering. I found some dry straw to put on them, but that is my adventure with nature. I don't know, maybe my dream to be a rehabber is starting to come true. I don't know. It's very stressful, I just have to say. Anyway, that is my long-winded story about my bunnies, and you'll get to see my bunnies because I am including them in my Garb August vlog, and hopefully you'll think they're as cute as I do. So, anyway, apparently little baby bunnies are hard to, take care of. Thank you. I do want to help these, but I'm an animal lover through and through. That is a passion. One of the jobs that I wanted to be when I was little was to be a veterinarian. That's really, and then I probably thought veterinarian, but I really wanted to be like Jane Goodall, like something with wildlife conservation, really. So we'll see. Yes, I'm glad they're okay. I did check on them, and she hasn't responded back to me, but I did check on them and I sent a picture of them to her and showed that they were uncovered. And so that I went ahead and put the straw back on, but I haven't heard back from her. So I hope I did the right thing. And then I'll just check on them later on. We're supposed to have more rain later tonight. I hope not, because I may even go and put the flashlight and just make sure nothing's disturbed. Yes, I'm glad the bunnies have me too. But it's like I said, it's just so I'm nervous. They're very cute, but they're so vulnerable. I'm gonna be very sad if something happens to me. I mean to them. Oh man, so glad they're okay. Yes, bunnies are precious. Yeah, it is amazing, and I'm glad that I have somebody locally that can help me. But I am going to visit this rehabber, and I'm going to have to do something special for her because of all the time she's taken with me. I don't know if y'all know this, but wildlife rehabbers get no compensation in Louisiana, at least. They get no monetary compensation from the state or from wildlife and fisheries. Everything that a wildlife rehabber does comes out of their own pocket or donations. In fact, she ended up holding a raffle and raised like $3,000 so that she could build her fox enclosure. So to be a wildlife rehabber is a lot of love. So I need to do, anytime we've had wildlife that we've found that we bring to a rehabber, we always make a donation. But I need to do something special for her because this is the second time that I'm having to get in touch with her about this. But anyway, let's go ahead and start sprinting. And I think let's start with 30 minutes so I can catch my breath and y'all can get yourselves ready. And then we'll go a little bit longer after that. So Faye says, I have a bunny family in my yard too. They're so cute. Yes, they are cute. But the thing that stresses me out about them is my dogs. And it's not so much my little dog. It's Luna. Luna wants to chase them. And it's not that she's going after them, I think, to hurt them. It's just, I think she thinks, oh, they're running and they want to play. And I don't want her to get them. Hey, Katrina, I'm at work and I don't know what I'm picking up. Well, hopefully it's something fun, something that'll get you through work. That would be a good thing. So let's go ahead and start 30 minutes. And thank you for being patient and letting me just, spew. I feel like a volcano that just erupted. Okay, sharing our screen. There we go. Okay, see you in a little bit. Pick something good, Katrina. Welcome back, everyone. Let's see. Okay, and stop screen. Woohoo! Okay. How did everyone do? I'm just going to say I ate watermelon while I was on this break, and I read one chapter of this book. This book, folks, I don't know if any of you have ever read this book or from this series, but it's unbelievable. I mean, part of me just wants to read it because I can't even believe that a woman would make some of the decisions that she makes. But some of the descriptions are just hilarious to me. I mean, he ends up, this Jace Manning, who she doesn't even know. She just knows that she's the brother of her sister's husband, shows up at her door and is like threatening to take her sister's baby or whatever. And he convinces her to do something so crazy, but he takes a shower at her apartment and she ends up making him mushroom soup and adds some onions and does all this stuff. And he apparently appreciated her efforts. And he says after his first sip, because he convinces her to marry him so that the baby doesn't get taken away. I don't know. It's just too weird to me. I wouldn't trust this guy. And he says, not bad. You've passed your first test as a new wife. And she's like, her first test or more to come? I hope you like Swiss cheese on rye bread. Love it, he said with a wink. His hair was still damp from the shower, and he had dressed in jeans and a casual shirt. He hadn't secured all the buttons, and Catherine noted that the thick mat of hair on his chest was damp and curled. Like, I don't know. There's just so many descriptions and things, and the men that are in this book are not good men. I mean, I do know this was written in like 1981. Let's put it this way. Poor women who had to deal with some of these men in the workplace and these people who are like wealthy and think they can just treat people, you know, women, these wealthy men that think they can treat women terribly. I don't know. This book would make a lot of you ladies cringe. But the some of the scenes and some of the descriptions to me are just hilarious. But you got some steamy stuff in there, I have to say. I mean, we haven't gotten to the real steam, but I guess it's going to be there. It's going to have a bedroom scene, I'm sure, because if he convinced her, it's just sad. It definitely is trashy. I just will say I am getting a good dose of it. Courtney said animals are so much responsibility, and I told Courtney 100%. And Lauren suggested Katrina read something trashy, and I agreed with Lauren on that. Might as well. It's Garbogus. And haha, it scared me. The kitty cat. That means that I was gonna say I was in my flow state. Yes, I was the same way, and I knew it was coming. But how did you do, Lauren? Are you making progress on this difficult task that you're doing? Sarah says, I made it to 78% of Mayfly. So you possibly might be able to finish before the end of our sprints. Faye read 29 books of When the Ground is Hard. The main character is reading Jane Eyre. Oh, I love Jane Eyre. That is a book I need to revisit. I love Jane Eyre. Liz made some good progress on Camp Damascus. Go slow when you listen on 1x speed. Yes. What are you reading, Kat? Oh, I am reading this is The Candlelight Ecstasy Romance, Love Beyond Reason by Rachel Ryan. Apparently there is a whole entire series. And when I went to the Friends of the Library, I was looking for romance because, you know, I'm doing the themed weeks. And week 1 was either category romance or men's adventure, which I'm not actually opposed to men's adventure, but I was like, let me try a romance because, you know, that's not what I normally do. And I went, and it was so hard because some of the romance books I just didn't know. I mean, they had different versions of Harlequin. Well, I thought this one, I'm like, this one's got to be pretty trashy. But it's just, I mean, the backstory basically is this woman, Catherine, and of all names, and she spells it just like I do. Catherine has a sister named Mary. Mary's husband is Peter Manning. He's wealthy, and his family is just duds. You know, they're just not nice people. And Mary's pregnant, and she's 7 months pregnant, and Peter gets in an accident. Well, we know why he gets in an accident, because he was doing something dirty in his car with a half nude 17-year-old girl. How terrible is that? Well, it puts Mary into labor, and tragically, Mary doesn't make it because she hemorrhages to death. And so then she gives the baby to Catherine because she doesn't want any of the Manning family to get it. So that's why Catherine has the baby. But I'm telling you, so much happened in just the first chapter. But some of these descriptions of how, and I even said this in my vlog, if my husband ever talked to me the way this man talked to me, with some of these things that he says about her eyes and her hair and all that, I would have kicked him to the curb, because I would have been like, you are a weirdo. Get away from me. I would have run away. It's too much. Like steam. Yes. It's, oh, yay for Mayfly. Alicia saying, I'm not reading anything yet, but I got to pick up some trash later. Well, this series would be really trashy for sure. I mean, this is something I've never read, and I don't want to offend anybody who likes this kind of stuff. I mean, let's put it this way. After the first chapter, I literally was like, I need to see what is going to happen, because I felt like I was watching a soap opera, like Young and the Restless, you know, or something, because it was just so unbelievable. But it's just mind-boggling to me how these characters talk to one another. And one moment, Catherine is like, I'm so afraid, and I'm afraid of my feelings, and but he's so good looking, and he's making me feel things that I've never felt before. And then she's like appalled when he makes a pass at her, but then she doesn't want him to stop at the same time. I'm just like, it's just so much. So much. I'm kind of glad I'm getting, like, this is the beginning of my Garbagas. And then I'm going to have some horror after. So I'm really hoping my Paperbacks from Hell is horrible, like horror and horrifying, not horrible, because I don't know. I need scary trash, because this is kind of scary in a way. I am making progress in my work, feeling confident and like I have a vision. I love having a vision. I read 14 pages in Interview with the Vampire. Sounds good. I decided to pick up Elizabeth by Ken Greenhall. It's a Paperbacks from Hell. Very good. That sounds good. Now, I need to get a copy of Grady Hendrix's Paperbacks from Hell, because I tried to look online for a list of them, and I found a list that's on Goodreads. I don't know how accurate it is, but it has my book that I am reading on it. So hopefully, and the book I'm reading is Nightstone. So hopefully I am accurate with that. Alicia says some of the dialogue in those older books is crazy. Yes, it is. And I'm just like, I just think to myself, would people really say that? And how freaked out would you be? I would be freaked out if some of these people would have said these things. Like, I'm going to have to find some, because it's just, I don't know. I had them tabbed earlier because I did read some of them in my vlog. But I'm going to have to go through during the next sprint, because I need to share it with somebody. It's just funny. In fact, when I took my mom and dad went for my mom's appointment, I brought the book with me thinking in case it was going to be long, but I should have known I was going to be talking to them instead. But I did read them, some of the scenes. And my mom's like, maybe the people in the waiting room don't want to hear what you're reading. And I'm like, maybe not, but then some of them might like it. So who knows? I got the book Paperbacks from Hell, but need to find which to read. Yeah, I need to get the book because apparently, and please correct me if I'm wrong, apparently some books that I have already read are considered paperbacks from hell. Like Harvest Home, is Harvest Home a paperback from hell? Um, what else was on that list? But I have read some of those books and I'm like, are these really paperbacks from hell? Y'all need to let me know for sure. It's a big book. Yeah, because apparently on the Goodreads site, there is supposed to be 569 paperbacks in the Paperbacks from Hell collection. So I'm really curious to get it because if that list on Goodreads is true, there are books that I have read. So I thought I had never read a Paperbacks from Hell. So we're going to see. If I were in the waiting room, I would want to hear. Yeah, it. I am because well, that was another thing too. Like they mentioned his chest hair um, a couple of times, and I think it was my mom was like, no, it wasn't my mom. I think it was my friend. Somebody asked me, like, was it curly or whatever? And I'm like, I don't know. They didn't say. Well, apparently, when he gets out the shower, it's curling. So I'm cracking myself up. Isn't it just mass paperbacks published in the 70s and 80s? Yeah, but Harvest Home, I want to say, was published in the 70s. Correct me if I'm wrong. The definition for paperbacks from hell. Yeah, that's horror. Yes, but yeah, I just need to, I don't know. I'm going to have to get the book because I need to know for sure about it and just see. And then what the funny thing is, this book, Nightstone, I happened to pick it up at a used bookstore in Alabama. And originally, I'm always looking for paperbacks, horror paperbacks for Kelsey, and I'll take pictures of them and then I send them to her, and she tells me if she wants me to get them or not. Well, she was having a lot of work calls, and one of the calls they were trying to decide because she was going to have to go out of town for something. And so she didn't call me back. And I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and get it. It wasn't like super expensive. It wasn't cheap like my friends at the library store. So it was not 25 cents, but it wasn't outrageous. And I was like, worst case scenario, if she already has it, I'll just keep it for myself and I'll read it. Well, she ended up, she has 2 copies of it. So I wonder if you read your book in your yard, would it increase the bunny's reproductive rate? I don't know. I don't know. They might not like the dialogue. They might get totally turned off by, what these, I don't know. And the men are just like so, and it's also too the way he looks at her, like he has a twinkle in his eye and, he makes weird faces. Like it just seems weird to me, Um, I don't know. Like this, for example. Jace searched their green depths as his thumb swept across her trembling lips. Moving slowly, he cupped her head in his palms, his fingers entwined in her tousled hair, and drew her face to his. The lips that touched her were warm and sweet and gentle, and at first tentative, but they became more demanding as his arms went around her and pressed her into his body. She stiffened in resistance, and he sensed her withdrawal immediately. Without releasing her, his hold became more gentle. He stroked her back tenderly. His lips changed from demanding to persuasive. His tongue circled her closed lips, and he nibbled at the corner of her mouth. Against her will, Catherine felt her mouth relaxing under his until she moaned and accepted his ardent probing. Ardent probing. I don't know. In your next vlog, you read Paperbacks from Hell to the Bunnies and document their reactions. Wouldn't it be funny if I read to the bunnies and their eyes opened up at that moment? They would no longer have their little closed eyes because I would have exposed them to something that is too steamy, even for little bunnies. and Faye says, NSFW. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that's an acronym for. But yeah, it's interesting. That's all I can say. Not safe for work. Yes. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just it's very interesting. This is how I'm starting my Garb August, but it's fun. It really is fun, and I have to say, I need to know how it's going to end now, because back in the day, I did watch soap operas. My favorites were Young and the Restless and As the World Turns. I will say, and sometimes I did watch The Bold and the Beautiful, but mainly it was As the World Turns and The Young and the Restless. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some more sprints so I can see what's going to happen to poor Catherine Adams. And we're going to do 45 minutes if that's okay with y'all. Give us a little more reading time. So we'll start. And I'm going to try to put the little ticker tape thing down with our would you rather question for this week. And if y'all want to answer, you can put them in the comments and we'll see what ends up working. Lauren says 45 minutes works well for her. And so let me share my screen. Share. Okay. There we go. So happy reading, everyone. Happy productivity. Welcome back. Okay. I just have to tell y'all, I had to stop reading my book, and I don't even know if I can finish. It's terrible. And I'm on chapter 10, and there's only 12 chapters. But what this guy, Jace Manning, has done has infuriated me. I just cannot believe how manipulative and terrible he is. And I feel so sorry for Catherine Adams, but part of me is like, you should have known better. You should have known better. You should not have let him trick you and made you feel fearful. You ran away one time. You could have done it again. I'm mad right now because I'm like, because actually, except for the fact, of course, there's steamy stuff in there, and I lived through the steamy stuff, and they seemed like they were getting along great, and now this is revealed, and I don't know. I have not ever DNF'd a book, but I don't know. It's like, I'm very sad, very, very mad. Okay, let me get happy again. So my question was, would you rather be trapped in a romantic comedy with your enemies or trapped in a horror TV show with your friends? I'm sure you can guess what my answer is going to be, but I am so curious to see what everybody else is going to answer. I'm not going to be surprised by many people, my horror buddies out there. Amy Noel says horror TV show with friends. I don't want to spend any amount of time with enemies, even if it means possible death. I get it. Faye says, horror TV show. I've watched enough of them to feel right at home. Faye, we have skills. We know what to do, of course. And you have your friends. Your friends aren't going to leave you behind, right? Lauren is laughing out loud. Okay, maybe I would be trapped in a rom-com. I would just lean into the enemy to lovers trope. Okay, that's a possibility. I did have a friend on Facebook say that they would become friends with their enemies, and she does have a sweet disposition, so I could see her possibly pulling that off. Lauren says, I don't want to be hacked to pieces by a chainsaw. Well, nobody would want that. But Lauren, you have skills. And you would have your friends. We could come up with a plan to get, out of that. We would survive. Horror TV show with friends. Yes, you see how it go? We're on the same page with that. Kay Simmons says, hi, definitely a horror TV show. My friends know better than to run into an attic or a basement with no escape. That is 100% true. We would be like so capable of surviving. And then, I don't know, we just have skills. We just know too much. Horror TV show with friends for sure. Of course, Jennifer, I knew you were going to pick that. Alicia too, horror TV show with friends. And she's laughing at Lauren. Hey, Kelly, how are you tonight? What about you? Are you still here? Answer my question. Would you rather be trapped in a romantic comedy with your enemies or trapped in a horror TV show with your friends? I mean, we have a majority here. I'd love to know. And are you reading tonight? Are you being productive tonight? Are you just hanging out on the sofa? What are you doing? Sometimes you just got a DNF. Alicia, you do not. When I read that paragraph, I was like, no way. No way did they go there. No way. And, oh, gosh. Oh, Sarah is 90% of Mayfly. You are going to finish. Because you are at what, 78 before, and now you're up to 90. You're going to finish before we finish tonight. Jennifer is a big believer in DNF, but guys, how can I DNF when I'm on chapter 10? I literally have 46 pages left. How can I DNF with 46 pages left? And I've come so far, and I had to read the steamy part. My eyes need to be sanitized for what I read. I might have a nightmare. That is horrifying. This Jennifer said, I listened to some of the audiobook of Catherine House and ordered tickets to see Talk to Me this weekend. Excellent. I like that. Horror show with friends. Of course, Crystal. It would be more fun. I mean, could you just imagine the horror TV show? I mean, I don't know. I think it would be kind of scary, though, if we were like an American Horror Story. Some of those are pretty creepy. I haven't seen them all, but I did like the Murder House one. The first episode with that scary rubber man guy. When was your book written, Kat? 1981. 1981. Can you believe that? Yeah, 1981. And what cracks me up is at the very beginning. So apparently, this is a thing. Stormy says that she has a hard time finding these. Storm reads, has a hard time finding these. Apparently, people like them. Readers like them, and that's okay. But I'm just so mad at this Jace Manning right now. But at the very beginning, it says, "Dear reader, in response to your enthusiasm for candlelight ecstasy romances, we are now increasing the number of titles per month from 2 to 3, and we're pleased to offer you sensuous novels set in America depicting modern American women and men as they confront the provocative problems of a modern relationship. Throughout the history of the Candlelight line, Dell has tried to maintain a high standard of excellence to give you the finest in reading pleasure. It is now and will remain our most ardent ambitions." Vivian Stevens, editor of Candlelight Romances. So, maybe I should have read that part. Maybe I should have read that before I got it. I mean, the ecstasy part should have been a clue also. But I just cannot accept what this guy has done. That's all I'm going to say. So I guess that has a lot to do with it, huh, Crystal, is when it was written. It belongs in the bin, Kat. I want to see if anybody wants this book. I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to say, at the end of the year, I'm going to say, any takers for this? And let me tell you something. There are some more at the Friends of the Library store. So I probably could pick up some for anyone who wants them out in the wild. 25 cents. I would send them to you. The postage to send them to you would be more than they're worth. You got to see it through, Kat, I think. So you see, Crystal, I'm thinking I'm going to have to, but I just need to take a break. I might have to read The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants or The Getaway Girls or something for the next sprint, just so I can simmer down, because can you believe I'd love to be the American Horror Story. What am I saying? Coven. It's set in New Orleans. Yes, I've seen some of it, not all of it. There was a scene in there that just gave me the willies, and it had to do with that bull guy that was being held hostage, or I don't know. Actually, the Coven one, my acting coach was in one of the episodes in that. I thought that was pretty cool. Alicia said, I would have to power through the last 46 pages too at this point. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think that's pretty funky. I mean, as it was, it took a while. I mean, they've been teasing and touching and, all this steamy conversation. And then they finally sealed the deal or whatever. And then this happens. And I'm like, really? First of all, it took forever to seal the deal. And now you throw this. They knew what they were doing. That's all I can say. I read a book like that. It scarred me. Only a couple of scenes, but it was way too much. Yeah. Yeah. I think in the future, I would get romance for trash, but it will not be ecstasy romance, which leads me to believe that I probably would never be able to read Anne Rice's erotica books. She has a series that it's erotica, and she writes under a pen name, and it's all about Sleeping Beauty, and it is supposed to be, I think Crystal told me it's like smut. It's like fairy tale smut. Because I even considered possibly reading that in February. I don't think. Plus witches. Yes, of course. The witches are great. I didn't get to see the whole entire series. I need to go back because I saw Murder House, and I want to say I saw the one that was in the asylum. I saw part of the Coven one, and for whatever reason, we didn't get the channel anymore. So I need to see if I can find it on a streaming service and start from the beginning. But you know that rubber suit guy? And I know some of y'all might have heard this story before, so I apologize. But when the show first started, they had a contest, and you could join the contest for the rubber suit man to come scare you at your house. Because if you've seen the show, he just stands there, and he's so creepy and intimidating because you don't see his face or anything. And that would scare the crud out of me, I'm going to say. But I thought it would be fun also, because what happens is you signed up for the contest. They didn't contact you. They contacted your family. So your family was in on it. And then, so if you want to see something awesome, you need to go on YouTube and look for that rubber suit man from the Murder House, the first season, and watch some of these people get scared to death by this rubber suit man. I probably would have had a heart attack, but I mean, because look, Ant-Man sometimes gives me a heart attack. Ant-Man gives people outside on the street a heart attack. There are probably people who are driving by or walking by. My neighbor across the street from us said it gave her a heart attack. She went out to go get the mail, and because it was dark, all she sees is this outline of this big thing in my window. And my husband even took a picture of it from outside. And he's like, no one's coming in our house with that in our window. I mean, of course, my light has to be on. Kay Simmons is telling you, Jennifer, it is the one that Stevie Nicks was in. I love Stevie Nicks. She's so good. Fleetwood Mac, so good. Haha. See, I like ecstasy romance. They just need to be short. Well, this is short. This is only 188 pages. Yeah, I don't know. How do you do it? How do you get into the ecstasy and the steam? AKA smut. Yeah. Yeah, but I know, I mean, Amy's being silent, but I know that Amy reads smut. Some smut is fun. I like the plot, though. I like plot, too. Delicate balance. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is kind of like a soap opera. I don't mind a soap opera. And like I said, the beginning, it is an intriguing story. And after reading the first chapter, I'm just like, what is going to happen with this lady? So I don't know. Yeah, Stevie Nicks, an absolute goddess. Let me tell you, Stevie Nicks, there is just something about her. Like, I love her voice. Like, I had somebody tell me one time that they could not stand her voice. And I was like, why? It's so different. And when some of the songs that she sings are just so awesome. And if you have ever had the opportunity to see her in concert, oh, it's so well worth it. I've seen her 3 times, twice with Fleetwood Mac and once solo. And what I loved about her solo concert is she told a story about her songs. And I love that aspect, because every time she was about to sing, she, kind of tell why they came up with that song and what her relationships were at that time and what was going on. I just find all that fascinating. I was very sad because my friend Shelley has never seen Stevie Nicks, and Stevie Nicks was supposed to come in the spring. And we had our tickets. We got them last minute because the tickets were extremely expensive. But I waited like about 2 weeks in or 3 weeks in. And we found some good seats, and they were cheap. They wanted to fill that arena or whatever. Well, first she postponed because some of her band got COVID, and they switched to another date, and Shelly had something else to do on that date, but she said, I am going. If I even have to meet you in New Orleans, and at that point. And so we were all set with the new date, and then she had to cancel totally. She canceled New Orleans, and she canceled something prior to ours. And I was so sad because even though I've seen her, I just felt bad for Shelly. And she's up there in age. She's in her 70s, but she's still, oh God, there's nothing like seeing her live in concert. And you know how she is, how she dresses, and how she will twirl, and she's in her element. It gives me goosebumps. I have goosebumps right now just thinking about it because it's just fantastic. Lauren says, I've seen her live. She is awesome. She is. And Crystal says, I feel like the opposite. I'm up to page 80 in my romance book, and I'm like, where's the saucy bits? Well, yeah. I guess I'm just clean romance because I loved my little book that I read by Emma Bennett, because even though there were not anything like that, it was like a rom-com, but it was contemporary and clean, but it had some old-fashioned vibes to it, kind of like, Regency romance, but just not in that time period. I just like, I don't know. I like the fallen in love aspect of it, I think, and the romance of that more so than what they're going to do once they're married or become involved or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. What does that say about me? Not all authors do a good job. 100%, Courtney. That is true. Well, Crystal, if you're interested in Love Beyond Reason, I can always send it to you if you want to check it out. And I would love to get your impression. And Kay Simmons is asking you, Crystal, have you read Court of Nightmares? Is that steamy? Is it good? Tell me. Love to know. Because I'm not going to read it if it's steamy. Courtney says, I like romance mixed with other genres. Straight romance, no. I am like that too. I will tell you that there have been quite a few books that I've read that even if it's horror, they might have romance in it somehow, but the romance is not at the forefront. It's there, and there's a need for it. That makes sense. Even a mystery could have some romance. And there are even, like, for example, some YA books, Mrs. Peregrine's, School of Peculiar Children or whatever by Ransom Riggs. It's YA, and there's a romance in that, but it makes sense that it's in there, but it's not like over the top or anything like that. And it didn't take away from what the plot of the story or the characters. It is full of smut, some bad, some good. Ooh, I haven't. We'll look it up. Crystal's so brave. She's going to do it. Oh, Kat, you probably would not like it. Probably not. Thank you for warning me ahead of time. Even sometimes with certain horror, like I like horror, but sometimes horror crosses the line, and I will consult Kelsey and ask her, do you think this is something that I would be able to handle? And she will say yes or no. And that usually will help me because she knows there's certain things I'm like, I do not want to cross the line with for sure. Hello, Joanne. Joanne is in the house and she is wishing everyone hello. Joanne is so sweet. What are you doing tonight, Joanne? Are you editing? Are you writing? What is going on? I need to know. Catch me up. I haven't been on daytime sprints and consistently because of all the craziness, and I need to know. Speaking of steaminess and smut, I just finished Neon Gods by Katie Robert this week. Definitely stepped out of my typical horror genre reading for that one, but it was fun. Lauren's like, hey. Okay, so let's go ahead and sprint some more. I have to decide. I kind of feel a little bit better about what I found out. Maybe I should just plow through and finish this sucker and be done. Or maybe I should just go ahead and read something different and then I can finish that tomorrow. Because, you know, this is my first week and I'm already going to be finished my first book. Courtney's saying hello. Joanne says, I'm revising Project Sugar and Spice, my bakery, rivals to lovers, if anyone's interested. Yes, but I need to read the first one, don't I? Because it's the companion book. Never be sorry for joining late. I love the fact that you joined. I'm very excited. The more the merrier, I think. Okay, so let's go ahead and set the timer. We're going to do another 45 minutes if that is okay with everybody. I mean, we can do shorter if you want, but 45 if y'all are okay with that. Anybody? Anybody have any preference? I know some of y'all. Haha, yes. But they can be read as standalones. Well, you know what, Joanne, I'm going to let you make that decision. I did the same thing with Emma. I asked Emma, which book should I start in your collection? And I asked Shannon the same thing. I want you to tell me which book I need to read first. Alicia's good with it. 45 is good for Jennifer. Of course, Lauren thinks it sounds groovy. And Amy says whatever is fine. Okay, let's go ahead and do 45 because we can make some progress. So see y'all in 45 because I've got to go get my other book. Oh, wait, I need to share the screen. Okay, here we go. Share it. Okay, happy reading, happy working. Ooh, that's a good one. Probably Culinary Confessions. Okay. Okay, that's what I'm going to have to start with. Thanks for the link. Okay, happy reading, y'all. Happy reading and working. Okay, we are back. How did everybody do? Let me stop that. Oh, and my door is open because my little dog came back in. Okay, I switched to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Not sure if anyone here has read this. I have not seen the movie yet, but my friend Liz says the movie's pretty good. So I'll probably watch it once I finish the book. I'm enjoying it. It's YA and coming of age. And so far, the pants are with Lena in Greece. So they've only gone one place. So we shall see what's going to happen. So Joanne is a writer. She and I have become friends through AuthorTube, and she was recommended Culinary Confessions. That's the book that I need to start off reading her. And yeah, when you meet authors, you like to know what work they want to show off. And she gave me the link for it. Just see if I can copy that link. I wonder, let's see. I have to look. And of course, Lauren was like, boo work. And Joanne was explaining that Culinary Confessions is a Friends to Lower Bakery romance she published 3 years ago. Project Sugar and Spice is a follow-up novel. That's what she's currently watching. And Joanne feels the same about work. And I told Lauren that, just think about how you're going to feel when you get on the other side of it, and sometimes when you have the nudge. I find sprints are so helpful when you're trying to do some productivity. And then Joanne wanted to know what she was working on, if she could share. And Joanne's also, has a goal each month. She is currently trying to commission some character art for Project Sugar and Spice, and has the, what do you want to call it? The link if you would like to donate. Margaret has popped in and said, hey, Pomodoro Kitties, guess who's kicking back with some lentils and rice? And of course, I was excited about Margaret popping in. Just want to give Margaret a shout out. Margaret is another author that I have become friends with on AuthorTube. And she is having a show. She created a series. It actually started, I'm looking at my hair right here for a second. I have like a little ponytail. Sorry. She has a show called Fireside Chats, and each evening at 5 p.m. Pacific time, she has a 1-hour show Monday through Friday. And she's invited some authors, some readers, and trying to like mix the community. The show that was last night was like a combination of some sprints and interviews. And so you can catch Monday and Tuesdays shows, and tonight I'm sure is already out as well. And I'm very excited for her. I will be a guest on I will be a guest on one of the fireside chats on Friday, August 11th. So I'm very excited about that. Not sure what we're going to be talking about yet, but it's going to be fun to hang out for the hour. I'm really excited about doing that. Jocelyn has already left. She was thanking us for the sprints and wishing everybody a good night. And Lauren answered Joanne's question. She's working on a presentation for history educators. A few teachers and I co-created a conference, and our second one is this Saturday. That is awesome, Lauren. Very awesome. I thank Jocelyn for hanging out. And Crystal's so funny. Crystal's far from being an old lady. She said she can't keep her eyes open anymore and got to go to bed. She got to page 106, so she's halfway through her book, and she thanked me for sprints. And of course, I thanked her for hanging out. Love me some Crystal. And Joanne's congratulating Lauren. Jennifer's got to page 21 in Interview with a Vampire. You are making so much progress. Hey, yay! Sarah finished Mayfly, 4 stars. That is excellent. Amy says, I have read 0 tonight. I have been updating my Kindle shelf on Goodreads. I have so many books on there. I'm almost done though. But you know what? You have to have time for that. I mean, I don't know if anybody else, I struggle. I just can't. It's like I try to get caught up and then I get behind and then things happen and then I just I can't seem to get into a good, schedule. So I don't know. But you have to make time for all of these other things with your reading. Project Sugar and Spice is probably my best work though. Okay, well, Joanne, you gotta decide. Shannon wants me to wait for her new book to come out. So should I read Culinary Confessions or should I read Sugar and Spice and Everything Nice? Lauren's almost close to being done. Excellent. Gonna eat dinner first. Oh, I do have a question for you, Lauren. Andrew's girlfriend, Megan, just turned 21 on July the 29th, and they are both coming on Sunday to celebrate Andrew's birthday because he just turned 22 on August 1st. And we had kind of talked about doing a cocktail or whatever. Well, I was thinking about making your shark cocktail. Can you tell me where you got your little sharks that you accented, like the little candy sharks, like the gummy shark things? Please let me know because I'm going to make that. And if I can, I will try to vlog myself doing that and getting her reaction. Because, I mean, I don't know if this is her first cocktail type drink, but I think it would be fun. Joanne thinks your dinner sounds delicious. And Kay Simmons says, thanks for sprints. Thank you for hanging out. I'm so excited. Lauren can't wait to get Mayfly ASAP. I've heard lots of good things about it, but I'm not sure if it's the right book for me. And Joanne saying, okay. Read Culinary Confessions and let me know what you think. Okay, that's what I wrote down, and that's what I'm going to do. So it'll be fun. And she said, oh my gosh, yay, I got them at Target. Okay, I hope I can find them at Target. And I'm assuming they're in like the candy section. But I'm super excited. I think I can get all the other ingredients that you had in it. And this is the perfect excuse for me to try it because I don't know when my friends and I are going to have a drink night. So this would be really fun and see how she does. Then when I self-publish Project Sugar and Spice, you can purchase a copy when it's done and let me know what you think about that one. Yes, that sounds perfect. Okay, so let me ask, do y'all want to do another sprint or, do you want to call it a night? It's up to y'all. We could do 30 minutes. So that way we can kind of wrap things up. I'm game for another 30 minutes if you want to. Alicia's telling me you would like Mayfly. I don't know if you would like Mayfly. I did love it though. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it. You're saying you don't think I would like it. I might have to ask Kelsey. I need to get some feedback on that. My friends are starting to learn my taste, so they know. So Lauren says, yes, the candy aisle. You can also check your local Target by looking the candy up on their website and changing your location settings on the website. Okay, good. That sounds good. Joanne says, another sprint, please. 30 minutes sounds good. I'm game for another sprint. Great, Jennifer. And Amy says 30 minutes. I should be able to finish in that time. Perfect. Okay, so let's do 30 minutes and then we'll come back and, say our goodbyes and everything we want to say to one another. 30 minutes sounds good. I should be able to stay awake a little longer. I know, like I said, longer. I was later today, but I needed this. So I'm so glad that I decided to do it regardless. Okay, so Timer is set. Let's share the screen. And happy reading and happy productivity. Let's get some work done. Let's get some reading done. That startled me. Okay, so how did everybody do? I read some more of my Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and it looks like I am now on page 181. Lena sent the pants to Tibby, and now Tibby is sending the pants to Carmen. And it's kind of neat how they're all deciding on how the pants make them feel. Of course, what's funny is these special jeans or whatever, even though the girls have different body types, the pants fit them perfectly. So they're supposed to be kind of magical or whatever. And it's just interesting to see what the girls are up to and their different personalities and the fact that they're all friends with such different personalities. I'm kind of liking that. Lauren had to go. She said her brain hurt from working on this, but she thanked me for sprints, time for dinner and resting her brain. And she told me to have a great evening, as well as everyone else, and that we all rock, which I think is awesome. And I told her goodbye. Joanne also thanked her for joining and had a great night. Jennifer took a shower and made it to page 60 of Interview with the Vampire. Well, that is good because that means you got through 60 pages and you just started it tonight. That's not bad at all, considering, that you can't just read it really quickly. So you made some great progress. Alicia said, what a change of pace from your last book. I just hung out before going to bed. Yeah, I just very, very different. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants from the other, but I've decided I'm going to finish this trashy romance because, like I said, I have 46 pages left. And I might go ahead and read some in the morning and update. I do need to go back to the South Shore. My cousin and his wife have come into town from Ohio. So my parents and I are going to have lunch with him and catch up. I've seen my cousin Danny a couple of times, but this will be the first time I'm actually meeting his wife, Patty. So it's going to be kind of fun, I think. But yeah, this was fun, guys. I'm so glad that everyone, hung out. I appreciate it, especially with the fact that I was a little bit later this evening and it really, calmed me down and lots going on, personally right now, but all's going to be good eventually. And yeah, I don't know what happened. Amy might have left. Amy was busy. That swamp gas asking, still with us, Amy? And Amy says, finished 170 logged Kindle books later. Wow. That's a lot. Wow. Yeah, she's still here. I always enjoy Wednesday sprints, Kat. Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you always being there supporting me. Thanks for the sprint. This is from Joanne. Well, thank you for coming. I'm glad you came and hung out with me. And Joanne's congratulating you, Amy. I really, really appreciate y'all. Thanks for sprints from Jennifer. I look forward to our Wednesdays together. Me too. I'm enjoying my Wednesdays together. It's a nice break in the middle. So it'll be nice to continue. Thank you for joining, Amy. Have a great evening. She's telling everybody to have a great evening. Ended up getting some technical writing done. That's perfect, Joanne. I love when people can get work done. She's wishing everybody a good night. Swamp Gas said another slump buster for you, The Girl with Ghost Eyes by M.H. Borison. Oh, okay. So, Amy, he's given you a suggestion. Okay, well, everyone, until we meet again, she's going to look that up, Swamp Gas. You know what to do. Stay amazing and be adventurous. Do something fun, especially with the weekend coming up. Y'all stay safe. Aloha. And see y'all soon. Bye. Bye, Alicia.